YouTubers, Electric Adventures here with my monthly channel update for May 2015. Yeah, hopefully it won't be too long. So we'll start off with other pickups. Basically I do pickups that I don't do a pick up and play for, so these are usually for the more modern systems or things where it's not practical to do a play of, and they are both of the games here for the PS4, so they are my very first purchases for the PS4. Both of them are second hand, and both of them were in some of the recent sales. Now this one, and this is the one I'm playing at the moment, Lara Croft Temple of Osiris, which really at the end of the day it's a game like Diablo, so it's I suppose a dungeon clicky explorer game. I actually quite like those games, I get a lot out of them. I don't know how big it is. It seemed to have been discounted quite quickly. I could have got the, there was a special edition in a big box, and that was discounted fairly a fair bit. Never know if this is another sale down the line, they've still got those left, I may grab those, because I actually quite like it. Other people may not. There's no disc in there, because it's in the PS4 at the moment. You just get this little, there's a season pass and a registration card and thing. I haven't used any of those things. And even cheaper, a launch game for the PS4, and one that I'll enjoy playing, is Killzone Shadowfall. I quite enjoy the Killzone series, and you know, there was no real negative things about this game. Lots of copies of it around though, all second hand for cheap, and didn't cost very much at all, like $15 or something. So this is one of the reasons why getting a PS4 now for me was the correct time, because I never, for like the PS3 and the other systems, I never really bought games at full price. Very rarely did I buy games at full price. I always used to wait and get games out of special bins. So now I can get them for the PS4. I'm happy, and I'm not going to get too many games, so or too quickly. I'm going to try and play them as I go as much as possible. Also, another pickup is actually from Gamester 81. I'm doing a couple of things for him at the moment. Now, originally in his Kickstarter, I got the special edition Gamester 81 signed with my name in the titles inside the actual game. It didn't come with a box, and doing another couple of things for him, and he sent me a box. Now, I'm not 100% sure whether he meant to do this, but the box actually contains a manual, but it also contains a black version of the game on cartridge as well. So really, I got the box so I could put this in here, so it, you know, looks better on the shelf. So what I might do is, at some stage, I may do a competition giveaway with that sort of thing. But I'll make up something relevant and interesting to do that. So that's it for other pickups. There are, everything else that I have I'm going to do a associated video on. I did mention that I got the BBC Micro that you can see. Let's see if I can get it up there with disk drives up there, but it has some repairs to be done to it. Story of my life at the moment with repairs. Speaking of repairs, as long as I get out this thing here, I have got my PC Engine Duo working. See, Bomberman's in there as a test. I've replaced all the caps, and I get sound out of the headphone socket now, and the volume changes and it doesn't die over time. I did briefly have sound going out the normal AV socket, but that's unfortunately stopped again, so I've got to go through and check all the connections. So I'm very, very close. So I do have a few gameplays of PC Engine CD titles that I'll have to catch up on, so I'll probably do a series on just 1 or 2 games at a time, just on the titles for the PC Engine CD that I've picked up, whilst I had expected that I would have a working machine. and I did have a rather large big box of stuff from Japan. I've worked out that I will be able to do the gameplay. There's 2 CD titles in that lot. That'll be up in a few days after this video. By using a little adapter in the headphone socket, I should be able to capture the sound out of that and actually do the gameplays. Because when I can get around to actually doing some more diagnostics and repair on that, I don't know. Time is not my own. I'm very busy. Got very busy work. 4 girls running around, and plus have a few projects on. Now I haven't answered a question from anybody for a little while, so I thought this month I'd answer Novabug's Friday Foursome question. Gaming dinner guess. Sorry for the jungle. Got interrupted. He did say gaming dinner guess, but I mean I've picked general science fiction and PC industry guess. Only one is deceased. Well, the first one I'd like to select is J. Michael Straczynski. Basically, he's an author. For those that are not familiar, he is quite well known in the industry. He made a television series that I really like called Babylon 5. He likes integrated story arcs. He's worked on quite a few movies in recent times. Basically done the script writing, like Thor, and I'm trying to remember the zombie movie now. Anyway, the zombie movie with Brad Pitt, and would be a very interesting person to have at a dinner table and discuss things. Of course, I'd have to include Jeff Minter. Jeff Minter, really respect the way he has created his games, taking other games and adding his own special flavour. Always entertaining to play a Jeff Minter game, and by the he's always ready to talk to people. So you know it's good to have somebody who's there, willing to talk and discuss things. My next one is an interesting one. It's actually Gary Kindle. This is my deceased person. And Gary Kindle was actually the guy who created digital research, who were the alternative to MS-DOS and up against Microsoft for the IBM PC. So it was a very close thing for the IBM PC running digital research as CP/M versus MS-DOS, which they signed up. I mean, they actually signed up both of them, but they the way they were priced, it meant MS-DOS was always going to be the winner. But he'd be a very interesting person to talk to. I just like people that have created things and have a lot to add. And my fourth dinner guest would be Steve Wozniak. I probably, I wouldn't mind the other Steve Jobs as well. But Steve Wozniak, because, at the end of the day, he was the guy that designed all the circuitry that made up the Apple computer, and was the original force behind the design of that computer. And even back to the breakout days at Atari, he was the one that optimised the circuit board so that it could use less chips. And I think it would make a very interesting dinner conversation, having those four people sat around a table. So I'll put a link down below to Novabug's original video if you want to go and make a response yourselves. Now, Homebrew update. Now, I do actually have some things to share this month rather than little snippets. I've actually gone over to the dark side, away from my MSX and Coleco origins, and I've been programming for the NES. And that alludes to the stuff I've been doing for Gamester 81, because Gamester 81, John, is part of ColecoVision, who are the people who previously published my ColecoVision game that I've released so far. And they're working on several titles that will be published on the NES, and I'll be involved in one or more of them. Just as a little sampler for you guys, I have sort of got to the alpha stage. I've converted my Meteor Swarm game across. This is the first game I did for the NES. I'll show a snippet of video up in the corner. It's working quite well, and I have a nice little skeleton and libraries and everything built up for the system now. It's an interesting system, the NES. In some ways it has some features the MSX didn't, like smooth scrolling, and a very interesting sound chip. I mean, MSX has an interesting sound chip as well. But in other ways it's actually very limited in the amount of graphics you can have on screen at one time. For the technical minded, you have over 700 positions on the screen that can be filled with possible tiles, but you only have 256 tiles to do that. That's why you don't see very many bitmap pictures on NES games, because it's simply not possible to do anything very large. But it's an interesting experience, working out the machine's limitations and pushing it to do stuff, and I'm quite enjoying it. So there's a specific title that I'm working on that'll be coming out in August, and I will give you some more details next month. But anyway, I hope this little snippet of Meteor Swarm will give you a heads up. Now I will be doing, I've got a few of these titles to get out of the way. I will gradually release some of my other Electric Adventures titles across to the NES, because I'm just very interested to see what they were like my Pixie Disc vertical scroller. Shoot 'em up. It'd be interesting to see what I could make the game do using the NES capabilities rather than straight MSX1. Yeah, that's all for me this month. I have been a little busy again, so I've been a little quiet. I've run out of backlog of videos, but as I said, I did have a box of stuff from Japan just yesterday. I've videotaped opening the box, but I haven't done any of the gameplays. The very observant will notice them stacked up behind me on a shelf there ready to do. Quite a few Game Boy items and several PC Engine CD titles. Alright, I hope I haven't waffled too much. I'm Electric Adventures. Thanks to all my subscribers, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.